Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, the Tech Coders, and today we are going to solve question number 57 of Leetcode, that is insert interval. Okay, so this is my question, and let's try to understand this with the help of an example. Okay, so see, these are the two examples which was given in the test cases. So I'm going to discuss this first one at first. Okay, so what are my intervals? It is 1 and 3, and the second one is 6 and 9. Okay, and what's my new interval? My new interval is 2 to 5. Okay, so I know that somewhere 2 will be over here and somewhere 5 will be over here. Okay, so I'll join this. This will be my 2 and this will be my 5. Okay, so now I can see that there exists some overlapping. So I can see that there exists some overlapping between these two intervals, that is 1 3 and 2 5. So now how can I modify this to become a single interval? Okay, what I'll write, I can modify this 1 3 and 2 5 as 1 2 5 and 6 to 9. Okay, like this. Now I can see that this 1 3 is coming in this interval and also this 2 5 is coming in this interval. Okay, so this is what should be my answer, and I can see that I got 1 5 6 9 over here. Now let's take the second example, that is 1 2 3 5 6 7 8 10 and 12 16. Okay, so these are my intervals. And what's my new one? It is 4 8. Okay, so I know that somehow my 4 will be over here and my 8 is here. Okay, my 4 will be here and my 8 is here. So I can see that this is my new interval, that is 4 and 8. So now I can see that there is some overlapping with this interval and there is also some overlapping with this interval, and the start of this interval is equals to the end of this interval. Now I can say that all these 4 intervals, that is the 3 given one and the 1 new one, can be modified as 1, like how see. So I can say that if I'll start my interval from 3 and if I'll end at 10, so now all these 4 intervals will lie in this one interval. Okay, you may say 3 5 will be here, 6 7 will be here, 8 10 will be here, and this 4 to 8, this 4 to 8 is also here. Okay, so now my answer is 1 2 3 10 and 12 16. This is 1, this is second, and this is third. So this is what we are exactly supposed to perform in this question. So now the question is how we can do it. So if you would have solved the merge interval question, you know that how to avoid overlapping and make this as the one interval. Okay, now you may be having one approach in your mind, that let's add this new interval to this given one, after that perform sorting and perform the exact same logic as we have done over here. Okay, but that's not the case. I'm saying that that solution will not be wrong, this is gonna work, but see, this is already in an ascending order, in a sorted order as it is given in the question. So why to perform sorting again, as this will increase the time complexity of our program. Okay, so now what is the optimal approach? Okay, so now let's try to understand that. So now see, so as to understand this approach, I'm saying that there will be two cases, that is when there will not be overlapping, and the second when there will be overlapping. Okay, so now let's understand this first, and for the sake of understanding, I'm taking this example, that is there are two intervals from 1 to 3 and 8 to 10. Okay, and my new interval is from 4 to 6. Now see, how can I say that this interval and this interval are distinct, are different? Okay, they are not overlapping. So if the starting of this one, is greater than the ending of this one, let us suppose that we are iterating from this and we want to insert this. So this is gonna be my current one and this is my new one. Okay, if the starting of my new interval is greater than the ending of my current interval, if that is true, I can say that this is my separate interval. Okay, this is my separate interval. What I'll do, I'll simply add this to my answer vector. Let us suppose that this was my answer vector, so I added 1 3 over here. Okay, now my current will be here, so now again we'll check that what was my first condition, that is my starting of new should be greater than the ending of my current. Okay, so now see, my current is over here and this is my new. We'll again check this condition, that is if 4 is greater than 10. No, this is not the case. So now we'll check the second condition, that is if the ending of my new is less than the starting of the current. So let's check that. So now I can say that this is going to be my separate interval. Okay, for the first case we were saying this is my separate one, but for the second case we are saying this is my separate one. Okay, because over here I'm having one value, but there will be more such intervals and there may be overlapping between them. So I can't say about this, but I'm sure about this, that is, this is not overlapping. So now I'll add 4 and 6 to my answer, and this will become my new one, and this will become my new one, as I have to check for the further values over here. Okay, now we'll simply come out of my loop as there are no elements. Okay, and after coming out I'll simply add my my new. So I can see that I got 1 3 4 6 and 8 10 as my answer. So now let's discuss the case when there will be overlapping. Okay, and this example is sufficient to understand that. Okay, what was the intervals over there? It was 1 3 and 6 9, 1 3 and 6 9, and my new was 2 5. Okay, so again we'll do same thing, that is, we are going to check these two conditions. So what was my first condition? That is, the starting of new should be greater than the ending of my current. Initially when I'll start iterating, this is going to be my current, this is going to be my first interval. So we'll check that, that is, if the starting of new is greater than the ending of current. So I can say no, it is not. So this condition is false over here. Okay, now I'll check the second condition, that is, if the ending of new is greater than the starting of my current. No, this condition is also false. Now I can say that there is overlapping. Now I can say that there is overlapping. Third condition, when there is overlapping. Okay, so now see, this is my 1 3, this is my 2 5. So now as there is overlapping, I have to modify this as the one interval, and it is going to be 1 5. That is the minimum of the starting of both of these intervals and the maximum of ending of these two intervals. So how I'll modify my new? Now my new will become 1 5. Now my new will become 1 5. So after performing this operation, my current will come over here. Again I'll check these two cases, that is, if the starting of my new interval is greater than the ending of my current interval. Okay, I can see no, it is false. Now I'll check the second condition, that is, if the ending of my new interval is less than the starting of my current interval. Yes, I can see this is true. I can see this is true. Now I can say that this is a separate interval. What I'll do, I'll simply add this to my answer interval. Okay, 1 5. So now this is going to be my new interval. Okay, as we have said over here, then when this condition is true, at that time I used to add new to my answer vector, and I'll make current as my new. Okay, now this is new. As there were only two elements, so after this will come out of the loop. After this will come out of the loop, and will simply add my new to the answer vector. Okay, my new to the answer vector, and finally we got our answer, that is 1 5 and 6 9. Okay, so this was our logic over here, and let's write the coding part. So just as to save my time, I'm renaming this interval as v and this new interval as n. Okay, now let's go further. As we were adding our separate intervals in my answer vector, so let's make that. Okay, so we have made this. After that we are simply iterating, so now we'll iterate. That is, from I is equals to 0, I is less than v dot size I plus plus. Now what was my first condition? That is, the starting of my new should be greater than the ending of my current. Okay, starting of my new should be greater than the ending of my current. If this is true, then we used to simply push my current to my answer. Okay, we are done with this. Now what was my second condition? It was, if the ending of new is less than the starting of my current. So yes, if this condition is true, at that time we are pushing back our new to it, and we are reinitializing my new as my current, that is v of I. Okay, simply. Now we'll come to else part, that is, when there is overlapping. At that time we were reinitializing the starting of new as minimum of both two, and ending of new as maximum of both of them. Now simply we'll come out of it, and we have seen that when we'll come out of our loop, we'll have new in our hands. Okay, so now we'll push back my new to it. Now we are done with all our logic. Finally we'll return my answer. Okay, my bad, I took n over here and I'm writing new. As this is a keyword, this will throw an error. Okay, so it's better to write n. Yeah, we changed all new to n. Now let's try to run it. Oh sorry, I wrote current over here. It is going to be v of I. Okay, yeah, it is running. Now let's try to submit it. Yeah, I can see that it is submitted too. So this was the solution, guys. I hope you understood all the logic and the concepts over here. Okay, so thanks for watching and have a good day.